January 22nd, 2022 Luang Phosri Suriya Khemarato Satya Dharma Reflection. Don't sink in. Diligently make a conclusion towards ending. Awakening uninvolved with awakening well. Disregard uninvolved with the disregard itself. Let's be in the way with the uninvolved. Uninvolved. Otherwise, there's always sinking in the mind. Unconsciously sinking. The attempt to dwell within oneself is called sinking. The attempt to dwell within the mind is called sinking. Diligently make a conclusion towards ending. Otherwise, there's always a block. Let's be in the way of uninvolved. Awakening uninvolved with awakening itself. Awakening sinking in itself, it's still a realm of existence. It's still blocked. It's not yet through. Disregard uninvolved with the disregard itself as well. If not, it will be blocked, it will be circling, there will be sinking again. The important thing is disregard that is uninvolved with itself, so that it will be through in the way without limits. Disregard is uninvolved with itself. It's like the discard discards itself. It's like the letting go lets go of itself. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, diligently make a conclusion towards ending. Uninvolved within itself. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. Uninvolved within itself. With this, it will enable oneself to purify through the extinction and emptiness. Then it will enable to use the true essence of the blessing. Purification of extinction and emptiness is the core for the blessing. It is both the foundation and the core. It is the foundation and the essence for the blessing. This is not about using opinions and meanings, fabrication of Dharma in this way and that way is the trash for blessing. Uninvolved within itself, uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, so that it will enable to purify through the extinction and the emptiness. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. Using the mind It is the trash of the fabrication of the mind. Mental karma, mental karmic difficulties. Even all types of dharma that are formed up, it will also turn into karma and karmic difficulties within dharma. So use that which has nothing to do with dharma. Use that which is uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, so that it will be true blessing through Nibbana. So that it will be true blessing of Nibbana, not being obsessed to fabricate Dharma to bless, because that is just karma overlaying on Dharma. Involvement with Dharma, there is only about the overlaying of karma on top of Dharma. Delusion overlaying Dharma. Being obsessed with involvement is the karma overlaying Dharma totally. Uninvolved within itself. Uninvolved within itself. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. Purify both the involvement and the uninvolvement. The attempt to dwell within the mind, within states of mind and states of Dharma attainment. It's still creating realm of existence. Just like being deluded to the beingness of realm of existence, being deluded to the realm of the mind, the realm of Dharma, still involvement within realms. Disregard within itself. Disregard from the disregard itself, wherewith it. Make a conclusion constantly for the essence of the enlightenment, the cutting of the deluded knowing, to help samsara constantly. The karmic traits of the delusive attachment is all the same with the attributes of the attempt to dwell within the mind, within the states of mind. The attributes of involvement, significance and meanings is the same karmic traits of the desire, delusion and delusive attachment. This is the karmic trait of the samudaya. This is the causes of samsara, causes of suffering. The obsession with significance and meanings and involvement is the cause of suffering and causes of samsara itself. So simultaneously use the essence of cutting deluded knowing so that it will help samsara to make a conclusion towards ending altogether, uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. So that it will purify simultaneously for both the attempt to disregard or the attempt to regard. This is the delusive attachment habit which is being carried away. Disregard, even the disregard itself. The disregard doesn't obtain itself. If still involvement with attempting to disregard or still minding, this is still the cause of the samudaya. It is the samudaya itself. Already said, even the noble path is not an exception. It is still the cause of the suffering. It is still the samudaya. So uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, uninvolved is not about anything within itself. Disregard from the disregard itself. The disregard is not about anything within itself. Disregard from the disregard itself constantly. Otherwise, you will return to be sinking within indifference, in the stillness, in maintaining of the mind. This is the karmic habits of the desire, delusion, and delusive attachment. The attempt to fixate, the attempt to dwell within form and formlessness, within the body and the mind. This is called the karmic habits of the samudaya. Karmic habits of desire, delusion, and delusive attachment totally. Disregard is not about anything within itself, well with it. Disregard is uninvolved with itself, make a conclusion towards ending, to reply it constantly. The attempt to dwell within states of mind is still a Vedana, still insufferable. It is an obstruction. Don't be obsessed to use thoughts, recalls, opinions, and meanings too much towards samsara, because it will create samsara to be intense, more intense, circling, preoccupied altogether. It's not helpful. Worse is even more towards being stagnated in it. Don't use anything else. Use that which has nothing to do with anything. Use that which has nothing to do with disregard or regard altogether. Don't be obsessed to use the mind on and on. Use that which is not about disregard or regard, so that it will be simultaneous purification altogether, through the extinction and the emptiness. All physical, verbal, and mental karma within oneself, within all things and samsara, of all groups of beings and all realms of existence, may it be all forgiven. May everything be ahosi, ahosi, ahosi. Whatever that is adding on top of karma is not purifying through the extinction towards one another like this. Being obsessed to let out one's own stuff, one's own behaviors of karma. May it be ahosi. That which has nothing to do with disregard or regard, simultaneously with working activities of karma or whatever, so that there will be simultaneous purification. There is no any cases with exception and without discrimination of nibbana or samsara. Purify through the extinction and emptiness simultaneously without discrimination, without steps. It is all at once simultaneously. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, simultaneously with everything, with the work, with the formed up things, with the life, with the form of life, with the formed up work, with the assumed working. This is not aiming towards the uninvolved. Otherwise, you don't know what to do. You are empty and don't know what to do. Don't know how to do anything. You can form up anything. Just purify it simultaneously while doing it. If you don't know how to do anything, if you are empty, don't eat, don't breathe, don't spend money, and don't breathe if you are empty and don't know how to do anything. Don't spend money, don't eat. And there is no need to have the body or the mind form of formlessness. The blessing can be formed up. Anything can be done, just formed up simultaneously with the purification, uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, simultaneously with all the formed up work, with all the formed up activities. It's not only about doing the work or activities, formed up the activities and work simultaneously with purification, so that there will be no remaining of karmic difficulties that is circling. It will turn into the support for one another. However it is, it will just continue on its own. But if there is only determination towards working, towards activities of karma, there will be only karma. There will be only karmic difficulties. The more of uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, is very good for forming up to bless samsara without obstructions. It will be even beyond smooth, being conveniences, because it is the non-obstruction. The more of disregard to the disregard, it is very good to form up the blessing within the work, within activities, not to insanely actively doing anything, not having the boiling head and busy head, because whatever one does, there will be purification simultaneously. Then it will be automatic blessing. This is not about being extinct, being empty, and don't know how to do anything. So don't breathe, don't eat, and don't get in the way on the road. The road is here to form up for blessing. do anything in the way of uninvolved, even within uninvolved itself, then there will be no obstruction. It will be moderate purification, not leaving anything as karma and karmic difficulties to circle later on.